Welcome back to the channel, guys. This week we're going to talk about the tiny house and the woodshed that my daughter and I are working on. So I know I've been gone for a while to talk about the tiny house, but I am making progress on it. Let's get after it. If you're new to this channel, my name is Michael Patterson. My family and I are trying to build a campground on 113 acres that we purchased here in Sanford, Maine. If you want to learn everything about the process, what we're going through to try and get it approved, click subscribe and tap the bell so you'll be the first to know when we post another video.
I figured out I didn't have enough logs, so I had to pull out some more dead trees. All these trees were dead, and debark them. If you haven't seen my video on how to debark the trees, watch that video. It was really good. I explained the debarking process. Really messy, very dusty. Had to wear a mask. And then off to the sawmill. And the thing about the sawmill is you have to make sure that the logs are really straight, because a lot of mine were curved. So I had to work with that. And the way I worked with that is basically eyeball them, and then I would lay them down on the mill, making sure that they touch in most places, just like the eyeballing it, get right down there really close. And then once I'm sure I've got it in the best way possible, I fire up the mill, and you can see right there the bandsaw just ripping through them. I'm not a huge fan of this sawmill, but it does what I need. I really just need to rip the logs because I want everything to be round, and you can see I got it to cut really straight, which is of course very important because I want round on the inside, square on the outside to make it easy to put on siding.
Just finishing up what we're doing here on the tiny house and putting the floor on. And what I'm putting down is Advantech. I believe it's 3/4. And this is the trailer I talked about in my other video. You'll notice I put down some butyl tape to give like a vapor barrier between the Advantech and the steel. I don't know if I really need to do that, but you know, you listen to YouTube and you hear it enough times, you're like, okay, we'll do that. So I put the Advantech on. Now, some of you are asking about flashing underneath, so let's take a look at what we did underneath. I talked about it a little bit in my other video, but you can see that's just the Advantech. And what I did is I coated it all with truck paint, rhino, like rhino liner stuff. So that's all I did. And because remember, I'm not taking this down the road a lot. It's more of a park model, you know, under 400 square feet type of deal. So there really wasn't any need to flash it or, you know, worry too much about rust, because, you know, I sandblasted this completely and repainted it with truck paint from Tractor Supply. And let me just get up. You can see I put more jack stands under it, and I already covered in my other video how I put additional axles underneath it. So it's going to be a bit hard to turn. I'm not worried about it. I have a skid steer, and it's going to move the way we tell it to, as long as it doesn't twist and break, which I don't think will happen, or reinforce the heck out of this thing, as I showed in my other video. Now, simultaneously with working on this, I took a break, as I explained in the other video, to go to timber framing school. And my daughter is working on a timber frame here. This is a woodshed, 8x12. And I'll make sure I flash the plans up there so you guys can see what's going on with that. We're doing the floor joists now. We actually got pretty much everything mortised and tenoned out, everything labeled. So I'm going to be putting this together kind of simultaneously while I work on this project. And you can see I've got a lot of the wood already sawed up. And as I explained in my other video, you know, this is not going to be an insulated unit. So I've got these really beautiful logs that I debarked, and I put one flat side on them. And the reason I did that is because I want them to be round on the inside. I'm not insulating. These bigger pieces right here, put my hand on them so you can get a reference, they are really beefy. And those are going to be my corners and around this massive door that I purchased. And so I'm going to start framing up probably tomorrow, doing the walls. And we'll see if I get any of that footage in this video. So the trailer is almost 35 feet. Let's get back to work. Margaret's working on the floor joists, and she's using an adze to chip away down to that line. And we'll do that on both sides. We got to make 5 of those to fit into there. So those 5 joists and like 6 or 7 rafters is all we have finished, and we'll probably be putting this up in the next couple of days too. So both projects, I would say, are going really well. And of course, I'm happy about that. Super psyched to be working with my daughter. If you're curious at all how we move these big timbers around, because they're very heavy for my daughter and I, we have this cart. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. This thing's awesome. And you pay good money for it, but it saves backs. And I'm already going to the chiropractor, so is my daughter, on a regular basis. So we invested in one of those. Guys, I really appreciate you watching these videos and supporting us, especially with the opposition with the neighbors to the campground. All right, I want to give you an update on the tree situation. Like I said in the other video, I've planted over 500 trees, and actually more since then. I picked up, let me show you these over here. I picked up these American chestnut trees, which were wiped out years ago by a blight. And I found these on Facebook. And the University of Maine bred these, I guess, with a more resilient plant against the blight. And so they think that they should be blight resistant. I also planted some of these cherries, and this cherry is called a king cherry. So I planted some of those as well. And because I thought, it'd be nice to have like a few fruit trees. Like I said, I don't really want to be turning this into a farm, but and I planted them out here because I think they'll get the most sun. So they're doing well. Chestnut trees look great, cherries look great, and I haven't really watered them that much. I just watered them, and they look great. Now these trees, they do need to pollinate, so I kept them close to one another. You need 2. And so what I'm going to do is, once they get a little bit more mature, I'll plant them, somewhere possibly in the setback from the neighbors. By the way, I haven't had any neighbors take me up on that offer to plant trees between their cottages and the water on the pond. And you can see behind me, I've got several hundred yards of bark mulch. So I've got plenty of bark mulch, plenty of free trees, heavy equipment. I can help them plant and revegetate the buffer between their cottages and their in the water, and none of them have taken me up on that. So it's unfortunate, but I'm hoping some of them are thinking about it, and because like I said, I'm not going to charge them anything, and I think it would really do the pond a favor if we revegetate where they've destroyed the vegetation between the pond and their cottage. Okay, good news. The Dawn redwoods came in, and I guess I got to keep them in pots for a couple of years. So I bought 2 just to try it out. I want to see if they'll last a Maine winter. We'll see. I thought that was pretty exciting. I wanted to add it to the video. Okay, guys, I thought I'd give you an update. I was able to work a little bit more on the RV today, and you can see that I've started putting together the walls. I've got this transom window that's going in here. It's going to look super cool when I put that in. It's a Anderson 400 series transom window that I got a good deal on. And on the timber frame that my daughter's working on, we made some good progress on that. We're really ready to put it up. And I got my podgers, you can see there in the back. I got those welded up, and sporting my new hard hat that Margaret got me to see if it's comfortable, and it certainly is. And so should make some really good progress for the next video, because I'm going to work on all this stuff all week. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Again, if you found this video informative, please give it a like. And until next time, let's build a campground.